I am David Oyelowo, and I play Suretse Karma in A United Kingdom. Yeah, so about 6 years ago, I was doing a film called 96 Minutes with a pair of producers, Justin Molui and Charlie Mason. And Justin presented me with this book by Susan Williams called The Color Bar. And all I did pretty much was look at the picture of Suretse and Ruth on that cover and just knew somehow I had to know more, I had to experience these people, I had to be part of whatever it is they are. I'm married to a white lady myself who I deeply love, and I don't know, there was just something about that image of them that really connected with me. And then I subsequently read the book and just knew that we had to make this film, but it was a long process. I went through a several-year process of just picking people who I had worked with who caught the vision I had for the film. So that manifested in Rick McCallum, who I worked with on Red Tails, coming on as a producer after I eulogized about the story to him. The same happened with Bronson Green, who also came on as a producer after we'd done The Help together. Guy Hibbert, who I had done both Complicit and Blood and Oil with, came on as a writer. And I was also in the process of us trying to get the film Selma off the ground with Pathé. And I spoke to Cameron McCracken, who runs Pathé, about A United Kingdom and Ruth and Suretse, and he also caught the vision. They came on board, paid Guy to write the script. And then once we got the script right, Rosamund Pike, who plays Ruth in the film, I had done Jack Reacher with her. And I'd always thought she'd be a great Ruth. Thankfully, she felt the same. And then Amma Asante, who I've probably known longer than anyone who I've listed to you. One of my very first jobs out of drama school was actually written by her, a show called Brothers and Sisters. And she had recently had a wonderful success with Belle, a beautiful film that she had directed. And I spoke to her about this, and also she caught the vision, and here we are. One of our biggest challenges was, in terms of the film, was making sure the politics didn't overwhelm the love story, but you really needed to understand the politics in order for the love story to have its full weight. The amazing thing about Suretse and Ruth's story is that even though there is a political element to it, the bulk of what we're truly discussing here is the power of love and how much this man loves his wife and how much he is prepared to sacrifice and give and fight for that love to be allowed to live. What's amazing about it is it's both familiar and unfamiliar all at once. So many films have been made in this era. And love stories as well. Like I say, it's a very romantic time for movies, but just not with this racial mix. All I know is that, between a chemistry that I feel Rosamund and I found in shooting in that house in particular, we touched on things that I couldn't have anticipated even when I was reading it as a script. One of the most extraordinary things for me in doing this film is that as a kid growing up in the UK, I would watch period dramas, whether on television or, merchant ivory movies, and loved them, but always thought, well, I'll never get to be in one. Because they just make them with black people, even though we've been here for hundreds and hundreds of years. So now that we're telling this beautiful period love story and shooting in places like the Houses of Commons and and on beautiful London streets that haven't changed at all since the 40s, Chancery Lane and you know, all around Holborn and Greenwich, and just beautiful, beautiful locations. Um, it's they're real pinch yourself moments, because I never thought I would get to be in those kind of movies, let alone to have had a hand in orchestrating it in some way, and for it to be being realized, I think, very, very beautifully. So, you know, and big scenes, you know, period cars, extras, and telling a story that is unashamedly romantic. And it's a very, I'm sure it didn't feel this way to the people living in post-war London, but it's become a very romantic time cinematically. You know, the 40s, the way men dressed and those beautiful cars, and despite the rationing and the austerity, people really making an effort to present themselves well. And you know, for our slouchy sort of contemporary lifestyle, it's wonderful to inhabit that world. And so, you know, that's also been a huge pleasure.